Hi, I'm Wanda with Jimmy Branch Homestead. Today, we're going to do a tour of my pantry. So unfortunately, as you can see, I have a lot of wasted space as far as height in my shelves. These were shelving units that I purchased, I can't remember, I think from Menards. And they worked at the time. But now I've run out of room pretty much. So at some point I will be getting plywood and 2x4s and building my own to alleviate that problem so that I can have several more shelves. Especially like if you look in this corner, you know, I've stacked stuff. You should have cardboard in between them. I don't always. But I definitely could get another shelf or two in between here. And another one in here. And I want to make them different heights, some for pints, some for quarts, because depending on the items we use, what size jars we use them for. And of course then also a small shelf for jelly jars would be great. So we're going to start at the upper left corner. This is my canning supply shelf. I do put those on the top because of the vent up here. The vent. There it is. So in the summertime I do have it open for the air conditioning, but in the wintertime I always keep it closed because I do not want heat coming in on my produce and my food. So again, upper left, I have like boxes of canning jars, Sure Gel in the back, my fruit fresh, stuff for keeping the fruit, you know, bright and nice, when freeze drying or canning. This is my cheesecloth and dish towels that I keep specifically for canning because things can slop on it and it stains. So I just keep certain ones for canning. And to keep them clean, I just keep them in this bag. Then I have two canners. One is my water bath canner, and then I also have my pressure canner. At some point, I want to get a second pressure canner because when I'm heavy into canning, you know, it's hard to take 90 minutes to process meat and have to wait for it and then wait for it to cool down before I can do a second load. So at some point, I'll get a second pressure canner. And I'm kind of hoping to get one that I can stack jars in, like quarts with pints on top or double row of pints. Again, that will kind of cut down on how much I can process. Actually, it'll increase the amount that I can process at one time. Okay, so over here on the second shelf, we have jumbo baking cups. Those are purchased, but I don't have any room in my kitchen for them. I have banana peppers canned. Then I have sweet relish. Then I have dill relish. Then I have ghee. And any of these things that you would like to see videos on, please let me know in the comments and I'll try to accommodate that. And then I have a section of store-bought overflow items, different salad dressings, ketchups, mayonnaise, cooking wine, tartar sauce, juices, blackberry jam. We do have blackberries, but I don't have enough to make the jam that he wants because we also use it for cobblers. Okay, so next up, I have my homemade barbecue sauce. And this is a great recipe. I will at some point be doing a canning video on that. Let me know if that's something you'd like to see. Then I have elderberry. It was supposed to be jam, but I forgot to put in the pectins, so it ended up being pancake syrup, and then I'll just scrape the seeds off before I use it. This is a triple berry jam, and what I did is I just bought the big bags at Walmart of the triple berries and made that. Peach jam, same thing. We don't have trees yet, so. And raspberry jam. We do have raspberries, so I've canned that. This year I will, I'm sure, do more freeze-dried because I have plenty of jam right now. unless I use an awful lot in the next couple months. And then this is the apple butter. My husband loves it, so he goes through a lot. So next year I'll have to get more apples and make more. Then we go down, and this is pretty much my tomato shelf, except for a gallon of distilled water I see my husband put on the shelf. So we start off with mild salsa. My husband and I don't like the heat, so ours are mild. You could put jalapenos and stuff in them to make it hotter. Then I have stewed tomatoes. I have diced tomatoes. And we were very blessed last year with our tomato harvest. The year before was terrible, so we really ran out of a lot of stuff. So this year we were really able to stock up again. And so again, I have diced tomatoes, then homemade tomato sauce. Then the next shelf, two shelves actually, are pickles. So I have some asparagus from when I went to visit my family in Washington State. I have some mixed pickles. Then some supplies for pickles. And lots of dills. I like the baby dills, especially for snacking and eating. Then I have bread and butter pickles. Those are great too. And I have dill chips. So when we're eating burgers, and I also snack on those too. And I have pickled beets. I love pickled beets. And then in the back corner, I do have some dilly beans. Okay, moving to the next shelves. On the top, again, I have some more supplies. That is my stock pot. I have a second one that goes right here in front of it. Canning lids, rings. I need to really figure out, and I've seen some different ideas, a way of like storing all my rings on ropes or something. Lids, jelly jars. I need to get those back out in the garage. Most of my jars are stored in the garage, but I pretty much ran out of jars, so the few I have lots of jelly jars still, but my other jars, I pretty much ran out. I have a few left. So this is freeze-dried eggs, and you just mix 2 tablespoons of the powder with 2 tablespoons of water, and then you have like fresh scrambled eggs. These are raw eggs, so you have to cook them. These are scrambled eggs that I cooked and freeze-dried, and then some store-bought Costco hash brown potatoes. Moving down, it's to my vegetable and fruit shelf. And my green beans, the rabbits kept getting them last year, so this is all I have left. Hopefully I can get the rabbit issue fixed on the fence this year and have lots more green beans. This is butternut squash. I need to make up a bunch of soups. And this is actually cucumber chips with ranch seasoning on them. And then behind that, I have a couple jars of freeze-dried, actually 3 jars it looks like, zucchini. And then I'll just rehydrate that and use that in zucchini bread. Then I have lots of colorful bell peppers that are freeze-dried here, and I use these a ton. So we actually had several more jars of this, and I've already used them this winter. So hopefully I'll have enough for a couple of years, because I wasn't planning on planting a lot of bell peppers this year, mostly for fresh eating. But we'll see when that time comes. I'm getting ready to start seeds pretty soon, so I have to kind of decide. If you have a few left of freeze-dried carrots and peas, these are great for throwing in soups. This is celery that I grew last year and made celery flakes for soups. There is carrots back there. Quart. And these are raspberries. I love these on my hot and cold cereal, as do I the strawberries, but they're also great for snacking. These are apples. These are Golden Delicious without anything on them. So I have 4 quarts of those, and I have 7.5 quarts of apples with cinnamon on them. Then I have some applesauce and some pears. And that's all the fruits and vegetables I have right now. So the next shelf is my bone broth. This is chicken bone broth. It's dark because it was cooked for like 2 full days. These are the only jars I have left. I have a little over a dozen wide mouth pints. I have less than a dozen regular mouth pints. And I have, looks like 3 empty wide mouth quarts. And 1, 2, 3, 5 pint and a halves and 2 regular mouth quarts. So really low on jars. So I have lots of canning projects still coming up. So I'm going to have to get more jars. Going back up to that other shelf, I have water glassed eggs, and I'm getting ready to do another gallon. So with 2 of us and 8 hens, I do find a lot of ways to preserve eggs for the winter. This is my pie filling. This is a maple bourbon pie filling, and I used it for making maple bourbon pecan pie filling for making pies for Christmas. I wanted to make sure that I was going to like it and it was going to be easy to use before I do more. So that'll be another upcoming video, because I have lots more pecans from our pecan tree. Then I have canned pumpkin, and I use that also for pumpkin pies. And then I have what's left of my apple pie filling, and this is ready. All you have to do is get the shells, dump it in, put the top on, and bake it. So the pie filling's all ready. I do want to make other pie fillings as well, but we'll have to see how that goes. The next shelf is my meat and meal shelf, and I have several quarts of spaghetti sauce with meat. We do like lots of meat in our spaghetti sauce. I had to find more ways to use the tomatoes last year, and this is one that I thought would be great for quick meals. I don't have to make the spaghetti sauce from scratch because I already did it. And next up is canned venison, and this is chunks from the rear quarters, and I have several rolls, I think 20 something jars of that. And then I have hamburger, which I recently filmed. It's not posted yet, but hamburger and taco meat, and these were cooked and then dry canned, so they're ready to use. And back behind some empty jars, I have a few jars of chicken for sandwiches and chicken salad and that kind of thing. I do have a lot of chickens in the freezer that we raised last year, but I do want to do more. So hopefully I'll be doing a video on that before too terribly long. And then the bottom shelf is my dry good bucket storage. Right now the vinegar's just sitting on the floor. Like I said, I'm really limited on space. So I have sugar, and then this one, it's not marked, but I actually have the clear gel that I use for the pie fillings. And then this one is cornmeal and bread flour. I use a lot of bread flour. I'm trying to make most of my breads now. It's gotten so ridiculously expensive in the store. And then this is my regular flour. Back in behind, I do have one for rice, and then I have a spare one. So, looking to get those completely filled. I try to keep them filled up so that I don't run out, and I have ample supply if I can't get to the store. So moving on down, these bins have pouches that have freeze-dried items in them. So you can kind of see through this. This is my Mylar bags, and this bin holds herbs, onions, and peppers. So these are for long-term storage, and they will last up to 25 years. This is snacks, more mixed fruits, apples, different things like that. Then I have, this one is fruits and veggies. And I believe there's some soups in that one. Oh, no, soups are in this one up here. And currently the bottom one is empty, but I did put the bin in here because I wanted to save it for that. Then on the left side is my freezer. We do have some items that we buy on sale. And bacons, ham hocks for beans. Then this is venison. And these are pork items. Chicken. I have another freezer out in my shed that's full of chicken. I just bring in a few packages at a time. More venison, including burger in the back, vegetables, and these are vegetables and convenience things. A lot of things that these are stuffed peppers, with peppers I grew from my garden, okra from my garden, things like that. More zucchini that's frozen. It says elderberry cough syrup that I keep in the freezer, and when I run out, I put one in the refrigerator. And some homemade soups and convenience meals, which again, we're trying to get away from more and make my own type stuff that we can put in the freezer and have it quickly. So I share, my pantry is shared with the laundry room. So when we remodeled this room a couple years ago, we did add additional floor joists all the way down across the floor because I knew it was going to be holding a lot of weight. So that's something to consider if you're building a pantry. We don't have a basement, unfortunately. Otherwise, it would be on a concrete pad downstairs where it would stay cool. But that's something I really miss when we moved to this house. It's a ranch-style home and no basement. So that concludes my pantry tour for today. If you have any questions, comments, I do know I need to put some wire or something across here. I tried using the bungee cords, but I don't think that's going to hold if we have an earthquake. So I will need to get that solved, as well as cardboard in between any stacks. Like over here on my tomatoes, I don't have cardboard on that. So I do know I need to fix those two things. So please, again, leave your comments, questions. If there are certain things that you see that that you would love to see a video on, please let me know. Or freeze drying. I do a lot of freeze drying. So, thanks for watching Jimmy Branch Homestead. See you soon.